think he'd ever shut up.
That sounds like the Coalition's music.
Well, one of the few times Coalition comes out to the ring and you're glad to hear it.
I see it, but I don't believe it. Ravishing Reggie, the new hardcore champion.
A whole array of unprecedented from the UWF last week. And it's just absolutely amazing to me, the excitement, the color, the controversy, and all the changes here. Brady Dezire joining Coalition. Oh my Lord.
He left him once. I didn't think he'd ever return. But you know, Rush has got a way of influencing people.
Well, Rush is trying to keep Major Maniac back from the hardcore champion, Reggie.
No matter how many times I hear that, it still don't sound right.
Never
Reggie,
will.
hardcore champ.
From what I understand, Reggie has a couple of hardcore movies, but I don't think he has a hardcore belt.
Moment. Coalition. Please hold him back for me. I can't help but notice that Legacy is not with you this evening.
One thing is, Reggie, because Legacy did the right thing in the smartest career we ever could do, and is join the Coalition. One thing is, how'd you get that belt? Let's tell me how you got that belt.
I pinned him.
You pinned him. You pinned him. Did you? Did you pay him in a fair match?
Well, he issued a challenge.
It was yes or no. Did you pin him in a fair match?
Well, coming out to the ring, the man behind all the color and controversy recently here in the UWF. You know, Roman, it wasn't too long before everything happened last week that I was saying this man was well trained, and we found out why.
Whoa. We've been blessed with solo Snuka. You know what it wasn't for your old man last week. We'd probably still be in the ring, kicking your ass right now. Well, here comes Superfly out of the rafters to save Baby Boy. The whole thing is, you're lucky. You're lucky it's not a TV taping tonight, because, you know, I don't wrestle unless the camera's on.
Shut up, cowboy.
Well, Major Maniac taking acceptance of someone at ringside, and this young man at ringside is really going to get his cup up if he doesn't keep his mouth shut.
Let's hope so.
See that, Rush? Nobody likes you. Nobody likes him, or him. So you know what, Flush?
That's real.
See, I know that you three think that you can trust each other. But I know you guys are nothing but a bunch of backstabbers. And that's exactly what you would do to every single one of your members of your coalition. See, unlike me, I got a little family to help me out, and that's exactly what I did last week. But you know what? What I need, Rush, is I need you. I need you in this ring now. Last week you wanted to lead a little... You jumped me. You know that. So this week, tonight, I want you tonight, Rush. Right here.
Whoa. Nobody here wants to see me kick your ass. So nobody wants to. Let's go. They don't want to see that. No. What they want to see. You didn't hear what I said before. There's no TV cameras. Rush doesn't wrestle unless the TV cameras are on. You know that. But I tell you what. Only because I'm very, very fair. You get to wrestle the guy that pinned you. 1, 2, 3. Jason. Xzibit ring. How about that? I tell you what, Solo. If you beat him, you know you can't do. Next week, if you can beat him next week, I'll give you the pleasure of kicking your ass one more time.
You know what, Flush? If that's what I gotta do, if all I gotta do is beat that beanstalk right there, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Well, kind of an impromptu challenge by Solo.
Of course, Solo, a former member of the coalition, if you may remember a while back. I'm sure there's still some hard feelings between those guys.
Well, you know, Roman.
Ladies and gentlemen, later on this evening, Solo Snuka will be taking on the Xzibit Jason Riggs in a return match from a couple of weeks back. I'm the hardcore champ.
Reggie obviously very proud that he's the hardcore champion here.
Are you ready for your opening contest? Our opening contest is scheduled for one fall. Your referee, Just Jason. Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by his manager, Little Vegas, from Hershey, Pennsylvania, weighing 183 pounds, the Candyman.
Reggie neglecting to mention that Just Jason, a 5-time UWF Referee of the Year.
Vegas, you told me earlier you had something on your mind. What's up? You know something, Candyman? You're a hell of a guy and a hell of a talent. And all these people come here to see you, man. I know it. But, I think you need to start going at it alone, man. Because, see, I got a job offer of a lifetime, and I ain't gonna pass it up. So, you leaving me? Yeah, man. It's in your best interest to go at it alone. So it's been great, man.
What in the world is going on here?
We've got a parting of the waves.
Ladies and gentlemen, Little Vegas, the job opportunity of a lifetime, apparently.
Well, Little Vegas
Unfortunately, no longer managing the Candyman.
has
Off to greener pastures.
I want to welcome you to Extravaganza. Something incredible that's about to take
Little Vegas, who is also known as my 6-year-old niece's boyfriend, that just upped and left.
I don't understand. Evidently, he's got the offer of a
And now
lifetime.
introducing the opponent, the toughened up 2 finalists, weighing 221 pounds, the natural Kenny King.
Well, Kenny King coming into the ring tonight. Because Candyman just lost his manager before the started here tonight. And I really have to find out what this is all about, why Little Vegas would be suddenly up and leave again. Offer of a lifetime? I don't know.
It'll be really interesting to see how focused the Candyman can remain. I mean, he's in a long-time partnership with Little Vegas.
Well, I wanna just touch on a couple of things, all the turns of events that happened here last week at the UWF. Jimmy Superfly Snuka gracing the squared circle here in the UWF, coming out and saving a young man by the name of Solo, only to come to find out he's family. And not only is he family, he's immediate family. That's his son. Absolutely shocked the daylights out of me, but we had known all along that the man that trained Snuka had to be well versed in what he was doing, because you see how great of a wrestler Solo is. That's one of the things I want to talk about. The other thing I want to talk about quickly is that sleazy punk by the name of Reno Tafuli putting his hands on the infamous one. And I'm going to tell you, Reno Tafuli, wherever you are, if you're listening, Goon #1 has told me he will emphatically and systematically and methodically destroy you for putting your hands on me, punk. And don't forget it. Now, Candyman and the Natural. I'm going to tell you something. The Natural, he's a talent, there's no doubt about it. I'm not too crazy about his goody two-shoes. I love the fans' personality. But I have to give credit where it's due. The guy knows what he's doing in the ring, and his ability is increasing with leaps and bounds every day.
He's an excellent athlete, no question about that.
Candyman at one time was nominated, as a matter of fact, he won Most Improved Wrestler of the Year here in the UFW. And in my opinion, the day he won that, he lost his focus because even though that's a wonderful move on the part of Candyman, you know, he just seems to be up and down all the time. I mean, he's with Club Vegas, he's not with Club Vegas. They lose their manager. The manager comes back and joins Candyman. Now the manager has just left Candyman. What in the world is going on here in the UWF?
Candyman. Snap vertical suplex on Kenny. Kenny clutching his lower back. Candyman on top of the lateral press.
To no avail at all. You're not going to pin a man like Kenny like that.
Especially without hooking an extremity. European type uppercut there by the Candyman. Really seemed to hit his mark.
And he did it. That's one of the reasons at one time he was voted as the most improved wrestler in the UWF. I know the trainers here in the UWF, Cowboy Scott Casey, I know Nick Bockelman took a look at him, and they really liked this guy and gave him the nomination for being one of the most improved wrestlers. But what has happened in the last year with this guy?
Candyman saw that coming and blocked it and then kicked Kenny in the gut. You know, Dino, I was very surprised at the fact Candyman didn't seem too heartbroken over the fact that Little Vegas left him. They shook hands and it seemed to be a mutual agreement.
Well, I'll agree with you there, Roman. I have never seen a parting of the ways so amicable. I have seen it done amicably when it was expected, but it was completely unexpected by Little Vegas, and suddenly Candyman maybe deep down inside he felt this was the best thing for both of them.
I can't wait to see what his job offer of a lifetime is going to be. I guess time will tell.
Well, Little Vegas, everybody knows he's been dating my 6-year-old niece for a couple of months now, and you know that's a full-time job right there.
Now Kenny, right hand blocked by the Candyman. That one hit its mark. Lines up, nailed him with that haymaker. He hits that spinning kick right there.
Bullseye.
That cartwheel type kick. Candyman shot off the ropes. Kenny. He got him up. Looks like a power slam. Oh, he just dropped him gut first. Attempting to knock the wind out of Candyman. Candyman still looks a little bit groggy.
And Kenny is now giving this Candyman here a real lesson in professional wrestling.
Now Kenny on top. Candyman still showing a little life. Kicks out at 2.
Candyman seems to be completely out of it. I know he's been banged around quite a bit in the last couple of minutes. And now he's putting it together a little bit. But there he goes. He just lost focus, lost concentration. This is going to cost him.
Turned his back on his opponent. A cardinal mistake. And Kenny with that springboard clothesline off the top rope.
And as we say in New York, bada bing.
Shades of the late great flying Brian Pillman with that springboard clothesline off the top.
Brian Pillman, Brian Schmillman. The problem was the referee counted too slowly.
Candyman ducks under a kick, hits one of his own. Off the ropes, the Twizzler. He's put many men away with that finishing move. He calls it the Twizzler.
Candyman hitting his mark. He's on top of Kenny King, and Kenny just puts his leg up and actually hits the rope, and he had no idea where he was. He just took a shot and he lucked out.
Very fortunate for himself that the move knocked him over near the bottom rope. Now Candyman throws him face first into the top turnbuckle. His forearms to the side of the face of Kenny. Candyman with that chop. Another one. This crowd, they're screaming their enthusiasm right now at Candyman. They like what they see. Now Kenny with a drop kick to the back of the Candyman. Goes to roll him up.
I gotta say, Candyman is sticking with it out here, and Candyman seems to be up to the task right here with Kenny. It's natural.
Kenny with the reversal. Candyman ducks under. Kenny ducks under a clothesline. He's got him by the throat. Got him up. Choke slam.
An illegal move. A highly illegal move. He went to Candyman's throat. The referee didn't even start a count.
The natural Kenny King.
Now, why didn't the referee make Kenny break that hold there? He went right to Candyman's throat and was choking him. How in the world could Candyman have a chance with a referee being this biased and partial? Kenny King, the natural, got robbed once before on TV, and, well, he just basically robbed this match right from the Candyman here.
Oh, this crowd showing their support for the Candyman.
Does that go to show that these fans have a keen sense of fair play? They know Candyman just got robbed. They know it. They see it. You know, Roman, recently I saw Reggie. Hardcore champion of the UWF. And I'm going to tell you, there had to be at least 8 people online for autographs.
Being led down the aisle by Kid USA and Stevie Garcia, weighing 203 pounds, the two-time judo champion, Timmy Daniel.
Well, Roman, Vegas Nick put it together.
Being led down the aisle by his backstretcher, Vegas Nick.
Vegas Nick putting together his own group of wrestlers that he's probably going to try to attempt to get them involved in some sort of championship caliber shape here, because let's face it, the records of these wrestlers isn't so great here in the UWF. Maybe they need some focus. Maybe Vegas Nick can bring them some focus.
Machine turned us back on Jimmy Daniels, and Jimmy Daniels kicked him, but with no effect whatsoever.
None whatsoever. This mammoth, behemoth, mass of matter is incredible.
This machine outweighs Jimmy Daniels by probably 150 pounds.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Devin Andrews is one of my favorite managers here in the UWF. He just knows exactly what he's doing. He outsmarted the infamous one when it came time to try to sign the Super Butcher. He outsmarted me, and I was very, very proud of this man being able to do that to me. And now he's putting together his own contingency.
Now the machine with that swinging neck breaker of sorts. He might put Jimmy Daniels away right away.
Kid USA, Jimmy Daniels, 2-time judo champion here in the Silver State, will absolutely have no impact on this match whatsoever, because this machine is just totally destroying.
He's got him into that inverted backbreaker and then just dropped him face first.
For you fans that don't know it, this is what wrestling is referred to as a squash match, and you just saw why.
The winner of this contest, the Machine.
Man, I thought I was watching King Kong Bundy versus SD Jones at WrestleMania.
And don't be a damn bit surprised if that is King Kong Bundy under that mask.
Oh, here comes Kid USA.
Kid USA going after Devin Andrews, but Devin Andrews is too smart. What a cunning man this Devin Andrews is.
You know, I haven't seen a stable of such slim wrestlers since Kendall Windham and Sam Houston teamed up at the Crockett Cup.
It's almost come out comical. Vegas Nick waving goodbye like, I mean, the guy just got annihilated. He's waving goodbye to Devin Andrews and the Machine.
Boy, Vegas Nick really has his work cut out for him. Like you said, these two do not have the most impressive one-loss records.
Well, I have news for you. We're in Vegas. He's got the dice stick, and I have a feeling that Vegas Nick needs to go get himself a dealing job, like at the Western Ho or some crazy sleazy place here in Vegas, because his boys were not that effective just now.
This next contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the UWF.
Wait, well, let's hold the proceedings here. Hold the proceedings for a second. Johnny Rage has something to say.
First off, I'm sitting over here in the audience. Johnny Rage, I've been wrestling for 4 years now. I'm sitting in the freaking audience. Why? Why? Because of freaking politics? Yeah, I'll tell you exactly why. Maybe because of somebody by the name of Gary Mills. Or I'm sorry, you guys know him as Rush.
Well, this is refreshing.
You know what? It doesn't even matter. These guys come in here day in and day out, bust their ass as I did. And Gary Mills has the frickin' balls to blackball me from here. I didn't even step out here. Yeah.
Oh, I'm loving Johnny Rage here. This is wonderful. Rush finally getting his comeuppance. I love this.
John, get the hell out of the way right now. Go. Yeah, get out. Come on.
Why can't you do this in front of everybody else, man?
Oh, it has to be back.
Bring 250 out of his ass!
Wait a minute. This isn't part of it. You're not supposed to be out right now. You know you're not. Go. Get out. Move. Huh?
Well, they're two Farrah Fawcett lookalikes.
Hey, come here.
Yeah, but let's
We're
face
having
it,
a war of words
it's
here.
it's obvious one is better looking than the other.
If he gets close to me, let me know.
Reggie's never had anyone with sweet
So you want to
nothing.
get back in this ring. You're not supposed to be here right now. But you want to get back here every Friday night. What do you guys think? Should I let him back in here? What do you guys think? The fans are like, well, I heard 2 fans say, yeah, you know, my mom and dad were here, they love me too.
Well, we got two of the sleaziest women I've ever seen in my life coming out to the ring now.
You want to get back in here?
Oh my God!
How bad do you want to get back in here?
What have you got?
Tell you what. I brought out 3 of the hottest chicks. Oh, no, I'm sorry, sorry. It's not you either. Tell you what. Why don't you can beat Major Maniac tonight. You're back in it. You got that. How's that? Is that fair? You guys want to see Major Maniac keep this blonde? You know what's that? What's that? I know you like to wrestle all the girls with hair as pretty as yours, but no, you need the big goofy bastard that beat the crap out of your shirt about 8 months ago. How's that, huh? Put your shirt back on, really. Come on. Freak him out, you idiot. Nice gimmick.
Major Maniac and Johnny Rage in an impromptu match. I love this.
Come on, John, put your hands together. Let's see you do it. Come on.
Lock up, collar and elbow right in the center of the ring. Maniac grabs the side headlock to start.
I'm going to tell you something. I want to see Johnny Rage win this match, and I'm going to tell you why. Roman, you can appreciate this. Forget those 2 sleazy pieces of disease at ringside. When Johnny Rage wrestles, his mother comes and watches, and he's got one smoking mama.
You know what, John? Go back in the crowd and enjoy the rest of the show. Really. Seriously. Come on. All right, keep going.
Hot lesbian action. Come on.
We need a hot lesbian action match.
HLA.
Maniac takes him down with the shoulder tackle, jumps over. Rage back up to his feet. Hip toss. And drop kick on the Maniac.
I'm say it's just LA because it won't be too late to post to this. They're really sneaky looking.
Snapmare takeover by Rage. And drop kick on the Maniac. You know, we haven't seen Rage inside the squared circle in quite some time, and Dino, as of right now, there's no ring rust. Inside cradle by Rage.
Got a handful of times. Keep an eye on it.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
There's all yours, too.
Stay in shape training all the time, but I don't really give a damn about all that. I want Johnny Rage to win because I want to look at his mom. He's got a hot-looking mama. I'm telling you. You gotta see.
Now Maniac press slams Rage. Slams him down.
Just give up, John. Look. Just quit. Tap. Just tap. Just say you don't want anymore.
And Rush continuing to badmouth Rage.
Come on.
Rage shot into the corner. Maniac goes at him with the full head of steam. Rage gets his boot up into the face rather of the Maniac. Bulldog takedown.
Absolutely right, Roman. No ring rust at all, Johnny Reed.
Oh, what a kick out by Maniac. As Rage went face first into that second turnbuckle.
That's gotta hurt. How long here sucks, huh?
The last few months. UWF.
Come on, man. Give me some scissors.
Some scissors? You want some? Come on. I look like I own a pair of scissors.
Now Maniac got him up, letting the blood flow rush to Rage's head before he slams him down with that vertical suplex.
Since we're calling his real name tonight, Jason. Dependent.
Well, you know, Roman, hopefully we'll see some ULA. Ugly lesbian passion.
Oh, he just nailed Rage with that kick.
How's it feel, John? How's it feel? Huh? I bet you want it, huh?
Rage back up to his feet.
Come
Maniac's got him
on,
up. Rage is throw first over that top rope. That's steel encased in rubber. Very arrogant cover by the Maniac.
Hey,
how's it going?
come on, let's do it.
Let's go fish them off.
There you go.
Maniac saying he's going to finish him off. Looks like he's going for a pile driver. Rage blocks it. And backdrops him over.
There's that smile now on Major Maniac. And the smile just wiped off his face.
Now Rage shoots him off the rope. Spinning heel kick. Maniac ducks under a clothesline. Ducks under a second one. Hits one of his own.
Johnny Rage looking worse than weird here, and I don't know if he's going to make it back into the UWF.
Of course, Rage has got a lot on the line if he pins the Maniac.
Come on, what are you doing, for God's sakes? The referee just sitting there while Major Maniac is punching out Johnny Rage's face.
Damn 2 count. Rage rolls him over. The Maniac back up with a leg out.
The fact is used by Rush here. Just really putting into Johnny Rage in this match.
Rage stops dead in his track. Vertical suplex. Maniac into a bridge. Maniac able to lift his right shoulder up at the count of 2. Rage. Oh, look at Rush. He just tried to grab his leg.
Yeah, but the cut here again, Rush is getting hurt.
Maniac rolls him up from behind. Pulls the trunks.
Well, you know what? Maybe better luck next week. Well, it's not going to be next week for you because you lost. Sorry.
Toffoli, one of the more proficient professional wrestlers on the independent circuit today, takes no grief from anyone. And I found out firsthand last week. But look at this.
His opponent.
Oh my.
Mr. Devin Andrews presents, weighing over 512 pounds, the UWF Heavyweight Champion, the Super Butcher.
A rotund, awesome figure when you see this man entering the squared circle. He's unpredictable. You have no way of defending against him. And Mr. Devin Andrews was cunning enough to sign this man to a contract and drove him all the way to the UWF title, and no one has come close to beating Super Butcher yet. But I want to say something right here. I am hoping that Super Butcher annihilates this Reno Toffoli, this dirty punk, for putting his hands on me. Did you see what he did to me last week, Roman?
Yeah, I was here.
And he will only realize his mistake when goon number one gets a hold of him. And I'm working on that right now. No one puts their hands on the infamous one.
Toffoli ducks under a clothesline, goes downstairs. European uppercut. A vicious clothesline just knocked down the 512-pound Butcher.
And that means a lot. Did you hear what Roman just said? Knocked down the 512-pound Butcher? That's a virtual impossibility. But Reno Toffoli has just done that. I don't believe this.
I hope they reinforce the ring. These are two of the beefier competitors we have here in the UWF. That's Toffoli. You're not going to see him wrestle in the cruiserweight division anytime soon either. These are two large men in the ring right now. Devin Andrews, the guile and the...
You know, Roman, I don't have to extol the virtues of the so-called Island Boys. You've got two Island Boys in the ring right now. And we've seen a lot about the Island Boys lately. We saw Snuka and his son Solo recently. We've seen The Rock. We've seen the Wild Samoans. We've seen Yokozuna. These are the Island Boys. It's been well precedented here in the UWF. And I'm telling you one thing right now. The fans that don't have respect and admiration for the Island Boys are going to gain it right now when they see two of them facing off.
The Butcher asking who the man is, and the crowd saying it's him. Of course, he's the reigning UWF Heavyweight Champion of the world.
And I got news for you. I've been telling you fans for the longest time to come out to see live UWF action. We're going to be very soon. We're going to be at the local Hooters. Come out and see the action live in person, because I'm going to tell you something. I would rather see these two guys face off against each other than watch two, well, shall I say, gentlemen of alternative lifestyles get married on some other TV show.
Exactly right. This isn't a soap opera here. This is hard-hitting action. Super Butcher giving him his last rites.
And that is exactly it. That's a ritual in the Isle of Samoa. I'm telling you right now, I have a feeling that this is the end for Reno Toffoli Jr.
It could be if he don't move. He moves out the way at the last second. That ring just shifted about 6 inches. Spear!
Oh my God!
The Butcher is taken off of his feet.
He got it! Oh my Lord!
That is the closest I have seen to the Super Butcher losing the UWF title. Devin Andrews, he's beside himself.
Devin Andrews up on the ring apron. He's causing all sorts of controversy here because the referee should have been over trying to get Super Butcher. And Reno Toffoli does it again!
Into the Samoan drop.
Absolutely incredible.
You gotta wonder how much that took out of Toffoli though, hoisting up the 512-pound Butcher for that Samoan drop.
And I want to say something, Roman, here, that anyone that comes close to beating Super Butcher, because you're not going to beat Super Butcher, anyone that comes close to beating Super Butcher would be considered an upset. But how big of an upset would it be for Reno Toffoli to beat this guy? This is one of the most proficient wrestlers on the independent circuit.
Now Super Butcher back up to his feet. Toffoli, he's got him up! Oh my God! He just slammed the Super Butcher!
On second thought, I'm not so sure I'm going to have my goon wrestle this guy. I don't believe what just happened.
Toffoli's got all the momentum right now as the Butcher's proning on his back. Toffoli off the top with an elbow. we could just be seconds away from a new heavyweight champion being
But
crowned.
Super Butcher had the presence of mind to roll over on his stomach, and that right there just saved Super Butcher.
2 and 15/16. I don't know how the Super Butcher was able to lift his shoulder.
And that was a very cunning education on the part of Devin Andrews to teach Super Butcher a move like that, to roll over on his stomach. When it was inevitable, he was going to be pinned.
For the first time in his stay here in the UWF, the Super Butcher looks actually vulnerable, but he's starting to retaliate now. I think he might be a little bit angry. That uppercut to the chin of Toffoli.
You know, Devin Andrews signing this match, you can not say that Devin Andrews handpicks his opponents.
Thunderous belly to belly.
Wow, Devin!
I can't believe that the Super Butcher just lifted him up.
Devin Andrews is going to get on Super Butcher for that. That was a big mistake. You don't do that with a guy as competent as Reno Toffoli. That may have been a mistake.
Especially after he just body slammed you. The Butcher with the leg drop. That's got to finish him off. We got a count of 2.
And he still didn't get him. Devin Andrews is living at ringside.
Boy, this Toffoli, he's taking it to the Super Butcher like nobody has ever taken it to him here in the UWF.
And I'm telling you that Devin Andrews will take Super Butcher aside and say, Super Butcher, you're the most wonderful thing that ever happened to me, but God Almighty, you cannot pick up an opponent when you haven't beaten.
That splash, shades of King Kong Bundy. Finally able to put Toffoli away.
The winner of this contest
What a match!
is still Ultimate Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, the Super Butcher!
Devin Andrews leading Super Butcher to victory once again. But wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Super Butcher just realized it is not all downhill. You have to run uphill sometimes, and he just wrestled a man that epitomized that, because Reno Toffoli Jr. just took this guy about as far as he could go.
I think Devin Andrews will think twice about signing his man with Toffoli again.
Hey, Punk, you keep your hands off me from now on, Punk. You keep your hands off me.
And if he does sign him again, I think he's going to have a different strategy. Toffoli almost pulled off the upset.
For the UWF Heavyweight Championship we just saw. Now last week we had another incredible match, that being the 4-way elimination hardcore match from last week, with the winner of that match being won and becoming the new #1 contender to my UWF Hardcore Championship. You're supposed to get a match this week, but I'm not doing that. I'm postponing that match.
Now, what a coward. What a coward.
Hardcore match this evening, which is up next. We do have a 6-man hardcore match for you, which let's get underway right now.
I don't think my heart can take this after what I saw recently.
I just hope they don't leap over our heads like they did last week. We're not safe up here.
When Funnybone approached the broadcast booth, went up on the platform here, and jumped off the platform, I had never seen anything like that in my life. Funnybone is just an incredible hardcore wrestler.
Introducing first, at a total combined weight of 631 pounds, they are collectively Agony, Funnybone, Timmy Twizted, the Looney Bin.
Well, the name is apropos, I'll give you that much. The name is really apropos. These guys. I started to say, Roman, these guys are aptly named. These guys are the Looney Bin. A 6-man hardcore? Oh my Lord. After what we saw last week, I don't know if I can take this. This is incredible.
I'm amazed that these three are even in the ring teaming together. They beat the daylights out of each other last week. Timmy was bleeding like a stuck pig. He's licking his chops. He can't wait for this match to
Oh,
start.
that's Timmy in his element. Timothy Twizted loves the juice coming down.
In this 6-man hardcore
Get it straight, Reggie.
Weighing 313 pounds from North Las Vegas, Nevada, Big Q. And weighing 348 pounds, Stevie Garcia. And from Orange County, one.
We don't have to document how sick this one is. He's the one that brought us cinder block and thumbtacks into the ring.
You're right, Roman. That was absolutely really hard to take last week when I saw all these wrestlers with thumbtacks. Literally hundreds of thumbtacks just sticking out of their bodies from everywhere, in their head, in their noses, everywhere.
And Reggie wants to keep bragging that he's the champ. Why would you piss these guys off?
I will be the referee.
Reggie is somewhat pompous. The pompous ass of the UWF, Reggie, hardcore champion, ring announcer, I don't know.
Fans, you'll have to bear with us. I don't know how we can call this, but we'll do our damnedest. Oh, we already got guys on the outside.
We got one, and we got the Funnybone going at each other.
Oh, God! That stop sign about knocked him out. Oh, hey, look who's coming to the
Oh,
board.
no, not again, God! Not again! What are you doing? Not again! What is he doing here? Oh, my God!
Look out, everybody! Run for your lives! Funnybone off the top! Good heavens! You've got to be kidding me! Not once, but 2 weeks in a row, he leaped right over our head! Dino, we might need to get a new broadcast location. This is just too close to the action.
If I didn't think Funnybone was one of the great young wrestlers, I would have tripped him up. I am so sick and tired of being assaulted here in the broadcast booth.
Now we got Garcia and Agony exchanging blows. Big Q's getting kicked in the midsection. One and Timmy Twizted are beating the daylights out of each other on the outside. Garcia with a splash on Agony. Like Q, he grew up in the hood. This is a regular Friday night for him. Timmy, he's from an insane asylum somewhere. He likes this stuff.
Well, I gotta tell you, Q, coming from the hood, as it were, is used to all hell breaking loose.
Good
With no rules, no sanction, no supervision, just all hell breaking loose.
One just got hit with that kendo stick. Now Q with a bottle of drinking water.
And the water all over the audience, all over the arena here. Oh my God!
That's the first time half these fans have had a bath.
No argument there. No argument.
Well, you fans at ringside, man, you might want to upgrade your insurance policy. You're taking your life in your own hands.
All right, fans. I'm going to prove to you just how much Dino Danelli knows about professional wrestling. I guarantee it that Timothy will be bleeding. As I said it happened. As I said it happened.
He's not happy unless he's bleeding. Timmy just went to the back. You know it wasn't for medical assistance. He put super glue in his lips last week.
Maybe he's going for some razor blades. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
There might be a spare chainsaw out back. Who knows? One, I can't believe he's even on his feet. He's taken about 12 shots to the head that would have killed most people.
Roman, the UWF does it. They sanction these matches. They put them on. The hell with the Athletic Commission. We do what we want here. You fans need to come out and see the UWF wherever they are. It is action personified. Look at the hell that's breaking loose in this arena right now. The fans, all part of it. This is incredible.
If you like brutality, the UWF is a place to come. Timmy put a bandage on his head. He's back. Drop kick on the big Q.
And the blood's still coming out of Timmy's head. He's been bandaged up. I don't know what good it's going to do.
Funnybone's on the outside.
Oh my God, we just had Gatorade splashed at us. They have a bottle of Gatorade in the ring, and they spit it out at us. idea. Why don't we just call timeout in professional wrestling? Everything else is unprecedented. For God's sakes, let's call timeout and drink some goddamn Gatorade.
Reggie, I guess Reggie's only function is to count to 3. He's trying to get some semblance of order, but just because he's a hardcore champion does not mean they're not going to listen to him.
Semblance of order? You gotta be kidding me. This is hardcore, bro.
Funnybone with the chair to the midsection of the big Q.
Funnybone hitting right in his hood. Right in the hood on
I don't believe this, Dino. We've actually got 4 guys on the outside. This might actually turn into a 6-man match the way it was designed to. Drop toe holding Q sent face first into that steel chair.
You know what? I only wish those 2 sleazes that were with Coalition would come out and be in this match. Because that's what they deserve, to get everything that happens in this match.
You know, I've been over to Reggie's house on more than one occasion, sad to admit. This is what his front yard looks like all the time.
Well, I don't blame you. I wouldn't go in Reggie's house. I'd go over Reggie's house.
He's such a bad housekeeper, you dust your feet after you leave. Now Big Q.
Timothy Twizted, he's got something on his mind.
Big Q shot into the chair.
And Q has something on his back. And now he has something on his stomach. I had to say something because I don't know what the hell that is. It just hit him.
There's a handicap parking sign, it looked like, to the head for the Big Q. Right, between the Gatorade and the water and the pots and the pans. I can't believe these guys can even walk around in the ring. Now Timmy's got a stop sign. You know he's not in there in direct traffic. Tag into one of the most hardcore, sadistic people you'll ever have the privilege of seeing. I mean, he literally might be related to the Sandman. He looks like him.
Ironically, you said that because I made 3 phone calls this week to the Sandman. I haven't been able to get through to him yet, but I won't be a damn bit surprised if this is his son right here. What the hell? We have Superfly Snuka Jr. Why not Sandman Jr.?
Yeah, it only took Reggie an hour and a half to get out. One just got hit with that stop sign.
Well, I think this one here just came to a complete stop, so he won't get a citation.
Agony with the leg drop onto one. In comes Timmy Twizted, a former hardcore champion himself on multiple occasions. Now Agony, what's this? He just powerbombed his own man onto one.
Yeah, but that puts Timothy Twizted in ecstasy. Agony just put Timothy Twizted into ecstasy because Timothy Twizted loves this.
Boy, this crowd doesn't know what to make of it. Half of them are on the outside. They don't want to get too close to the action. Now one's got the chair. Look out, Timmy!
I've said it a million times. That one of the most memorable matches ever in the history of the UWF.
Arabian facebuster by one. Shades of Sabu.
Was Timothy Twizted against Show Enough Bad. I had never seen anything more vicious and more violent in my life. But the last 2 weeks, this is measured up.
Look at this submission hold by Timmy. He's putting a great amount of pressure on the shoulder of one.
Now why a wrestling maneuver? I don't get this.
I'm surprised Timmy knew one, to tell you the truth. Have Funnybone in with a kick to the midsection on one. One up in the air. Flipped over, very nice.
And he reverses Salmon.
Just when we looked like one had a reversal, it was Funnybone.
I was going to say, the guy that looks like Sandman Jr. almost reversed it, but he didn't.
And the diamond cutter type maneuver by Funnybone.
Now what the hell is Q arguing with the referee for? This is a hardcore match. It doesn't mean a damn thing.
Now suplex by Funnybone. One thrown, laying down on the canvas. Funnybone trying to prop that steel chair up in between the ropes.
Do it again, for God's sakes. This sick, demented individual one brought those thumbtacks in the ring and wreaked havoc last week.
In comes Stevie Garcia. Stevie Garcia and Agony exchanging blows. Garcia getting the better of it right now. Agony shot off the rope. Big clothesline by Garcia. Now Agony in the wrong corner.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stevie Garcia finally learning what it's like to wrestle in a ring. This guy came from one of the backyards of the Las Vegas area here, and now he's getting some ring time and learning what it's all about. If anyone would be hardcore, it would be a backyard boy like this, I'm telling you.
Now Q and 1 going to work on Agony. Timmy Twizted. You don't need to invite him to the dance. He'll cut in any time.
You know, I've seen Q in some pretty good wrestling matches in his day, with and without tag team partners, and I don't really think hardcore is his exact element. To be honest with you, Big Q can go with anyone in this business, but I'll tell you, I don't think this is his match.
Keep your eye on Funnybone. He likes to go to the air. He's up top. Rolling neck snap, but he landed on one as well.
He took two guys out.
One is busted open.
One is busted.
Oh my gosh. One is busted open. He's bleeding from the lip.
I think his nose may be broken. Timothy Twisted on top.
Mooch up by Timmy. Reggie finally down.
And he's still on top of the other two. He's on top of Garcia. And one, I think one's nose has been busted. That's not just a funny nose, that's a busted nose. Look at that, my lord, look at that.
This is not for the weak of heart. You kids may want to turn away. This is sick action. Of course, Timmy was busted open earlier. I think you're right, Dino. This one, he's going to need some medical attention in the back.
Oh, I've seen it a trillion times. That is definitely a busted nose. That's not bleeding, it's busted open.
Now we got a stop sign back in the ring. Placed right on the face of Garcia. This does not bode well for him. Funnybone. Funnybone up top.
Corkscrew dive right onto the stop sign that was on top of Stevie Garcia. This will be it. This is it.
Oh, this one, he needs medical attention. Good God.
A backward corkscrew dive off the top rope by Funnybone onto the stop sign that had been placed on top of Stevie Garcia.
I can hardly stand to look at this one. He's lost so much blood, Dino. Unbelievable.
I'd like to notify.
Yeah, the Looney Bin. Never in professional wrestling history has a trio been more aptly named than Looney Bin.
Well, if the UFC Emergency Corps is working tonight, be ready. You're going to see a pro wrestler coming in for some attention right now.
Oh, Big Q, he's had enough.
Well, this is absolutely called for. I would love to see this. And that's why that pompous ass Q did not hit him. He should have hit him. He knew everybody wanted him to. That's what a pompous ass this guy is. That's why I can't stand Q. I'm sick of his goody two-shoes ways.
This Reggie's been bragging that he's a hardcore champ. He didn't look hardcore right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that I am still the UWF Hardcore Champion. Thank you.
What arrogance is this individual.
He's the hardcore champ because he has a lot of hardcore movies at home. As Ross Prophet heads to the ring. Ross Prophet heading to the ring here.
I'll tell you what I'm doing out here. Hardcore champion. Ross Prophet was in the back looking for a guest on the Prophet Report, and I couldn't find anyone until I couldn't believe my eyes. I saw ring announcer trying to be a wrestler, trying to be a referee. Reggie! So you're telling me that you're the hardcore champion and you're ducking challenges like one? Shove the microphone up his ass!
I'm not ducking anybody, Royce Prophet. At least I've held something in my
yourself have a mullet haircut. The only difference between you and the butcher is you got about 4 cup sizes up on him, buddy. Let me tell you something.
Wow.
These people came here to be entertained. They came here to see wrestling. They come here to see a bald penguin Danny DeVito looking asshole like you.
Atta boy, Reggie!
Let me tell you something about Royce Prophet. Royce Prophet is hardcore, brother. You don't want anything to do.
One thing hardcore about him is his B.O.
Royce Prophet being hardcore. I've seen the movies with you in Vegas, Nick. I know how hardcore you can be. But let me tell you something, Penguin baby. You come out here every now and then with your little profit report. You think you're somebody, you get in my face, somebody to send me a paper. Let me tell you something. On your best day, you couldn't beat me for this hardcore title on my worst day.
Yes, Reggie's actually showing some stones for a change.
This is absolutely amazing me. Absolutely amazing.
He actually believes he's hardcore now.
Well,
I could beat you, brother, on my worst day, crippled, in a wheelchair, naked, standing on top of the Luxor.
Why would you stand if you're in a wheelchair?
What I think about right now is you naked on top. Bottom line is, these people, every single one of these UWF fans that come out here each and every Friday night to watch these guys bust their ass, come out here, you just take away from the show. You're a nobody, you're a nothing, you're a loser, and this show can do without you.
Atta baby, Reggie!
Reggie shooting with Royce Prophet. Man, oh man.
In that case, I have one thing to say. You're excused, you're a disgrace, and you are no longer a guest of Royce Prophet on the Prophet Report.
Well, you can say what you want about Royce Prophet, but the fact of the matter is...
Atta baby, Reggie! Never in my life have I been proud of Reggie till now.
Royce Prophet taking a beating from Reggie. I can't believe Reggie has actually shown some chutzpah.
Reggie! Reggie!
Now that we got that ridiculousness out of the way,
Did he just turn
let's
babyface?
go on ahead and go to our next match.
Well, I want to say one thing about Royce Prophet. They can say what they want about everything else. Royce Prophet is the man that introduced me to Jenna Jameson. Jenna Jameson, one of my good friends, thanks to Royce Prophet.
Introducing first, from Vegas, weighing 220 pounds, the Iceman.
Straight from Marvel Comics, the Iceman! Making his debut here.
The fans still buzzing about what just happened with Reggie in the ring there with Royce Prophet.
We had an entertaining Prophet report.
They always are. A little loud, but yes, they're entertaining. I like Royce Prophet. You know, for a while I thought he was kind of a pompous ass. I've grown to like Royce Prophet.
You're one of few, Dino.
Well, you learn to respect people for what they do, and whether you like Royce Prophet or not, the fact of the matter is, he gets the job done. He knows what he has to do.
And now introducing his opponent, from Des Moines, Iowa, weighing 191 pounds, representing the coalition, the new UWF Junior Heavyweight Champion, Brady, Dezire. Because I'm the best damn Nevada champion this federation's ever seen, and soon I'm going to go down as the best damn junior heavyweight champion this federation's ever seen. I'm going to make this match a title shot because there ain't no way a rookie's beating me.
One thing Brady A. Dezire forgot to say, Brady A. Dezire is also obviously one of the best dressed wrestlers in the UWF.
Stevie Wonder thinks so.
We got a new referee here. Hopefully he'll be a lot better than the referees we've seen for 2 years here in the UWF.
Boy, what a way to make a debut here in the UWF. Iceman going up against one of the longest reigning Nevada heavyweight champions and the current UWF junior heavyweight champion.
Well, Roman, that's the way to get your feet wet here in professional wrestling. Don't pussyfoot around. Forget the preliminaries. Go right at the champion. And
Brady
that's exactly what this Iceman has done.
Brady A taking his eye off the Iceman. The Iceman with a series of arm drags, followed up by a hip toss.
Well, Iceman showing his inexperience right there. Brady A just waited and waited and just did what he had to do.
Iceman looked real hesitant, real unsure of himself, and he paid the price. Now Desire's on top of the side headlock.
I'd like to make a suggestion to Iceman's mother, and that is, be careful where you keep your bleach, all right? Obviously, you didn't keep the Clorox up high enough in the closet.
Iceman rolls him over. Good for a 2 count. Dezire shifts his weight. Maintains that side headlock.
Forget the match, Roman. What about those chicks out there waving to you and I, huh? Chicks dig us. They always dug me, but ever since you've been hanging out with me, they dig you too, Roman.
I've been beating them off with the stick these last several weeks, you know. I guess I owe it all to you.
Well, yeah, but you know, I appreciate the fact that you don't bring the chicks to me for autographs and just spend the night with them because I'm so busy right now. You know, I got my Marissa Tomei, and that's a full-time job right there.
Dezire with that spine buster. Onto the Iceman. You know, I always thought George Gervin was a little bit darker than that.
Yeah, me too. I see it. What do you think a guy like Brady A. Dezire, who is a champion here, coming into a match tonight, knowing he's wrestling a guy who's in his first match here in the UWF, what do you think a guy like Brady A. Dezire is thinking? What is his procedure? What is his strategy here against a guy like this Iceman?
Well, obviously, it's a little bit hard to prepare for someone you don't know anything about, but if Dezire takes this guy lightly, he could end up on the short end of the stick. We've seen stranger things happen here in the UWF.
Well, you don't take anyone lightly in the UWF. I'm just kind of wondering, do you think that he might be a little confident, a little overconfident, or trepidatious?
I think he could be a little overconfident. He's very proud of himself right now as the Iceman's chest beat red from those knife-edge chops. Now Desire's got him in the ropes, shoots him off. That back elbow saves a blackjack mulligan right there. Goes for the lateral press.
You know, Roman, I'm not being facetious when I say this, but this young man here in his first match in the UWF, I see something. As a manager of champions of professional wrestling, I look at this young talent here, this young Iceman, and I see the eye of the tiger. And I'm not being funny here, I'm being serious. This kid, just focus on his eyes. He's got the eye of the tiger. And I have a feeling Brady A. Dezire might make a big mistake if he doesn't put this guy away as soon as possible, because I see something in this young Iceman right here tonight. There's no doubt in my mind you are, Brady, but be careful, bro.
Brady taking time away from the action to tell my broadcast colleague he's the man, and he sure looks like it right now. He's got the Iceman reeling.
Won't get him. No, he won't get him with that. It's 2 lackadaisical. Brady A. Dezire knows better than to cover a wrestler that lackadaisical. I don't believe we did that.
And he really didn't drive him down with that slam either, just kind of set him down.
I agree with you, Roman. That makes me kind of think maybe he's just toying with this young Iceman, and that will come up and bite him right in the ass. I'm telling you. I see something in this young Iceman that just makes me know this kid is going to come back. Brady A. Dezire, I think the world of you, brother, but be careful.
Iceman off the ropes. Dezire goes for a backdrop, telegraphed it. Iceman, sunset flip. Didn't put his feet on the shoulders. Clothesline by the Iceman. We can have an upset here.
Rookie mistake. 2 rookie mistakes in a row on the pin. But this young man will learn. Coming down to the UWF Training Center and learning from the best guys like Cowboy Scott Casey, Dick Bockwinkel, Superstar, Mike Lane, my protege, bro. I'm here to tell you that you learn from the best here in the UWF, and this young Iceman has proven that right here tonight.
You know, you asked me earlier what might have been going through Desire's head. Maybe he was looking at this as just a simple tune-up match, you know, to stay sharp, and he thought it'd be a walk in the park. This Iceman's giving a little bit of run for the money for his debut.
Well, this is what people would classify as a hand-picked opponent. But I don't see that. I just don't see that in this young man. He obviously has been very well versed. He's learning. He's still a very young kid, his first match, and he's going to make a lot of mistakes. But he is not giving up. He's not rolling over. He's not playing dead, and he's trying with every bit. See, now that was too like there's no pin, but he's out of it. He's kind of the worst for wear right here because he's kind of blown up. This is his first match, but he'll learn. He'll train hard.
Belly to back suplex by Dezire. Very nicely done. Turning the tide right there.
And he gets up from the pin by Brady Dezire.
And that's coming straight from MPW.
Dezire going to work on the Iceman, the newcomer here to the UWF. Trying to make a name for himself. Shoots Dezire off the ropes. Dezire ducks under. He's a house of fire right now. Bulldog takedown.
And I wouldn't be a bit surprised that this young Iceman right now has a torn ACL on one knee and a torn MCL on the other knee.
The Calsalt, otherwise known as the K-Brada.
And that's only going to heighten the pain. And there it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, Brady Dezire.
I love Brady Dezire. I'm glad to see Brady Dezire win. I think he deserved to win. But I'm going to tell you something. Young Iceman gave him a match.
He's got nothing to be ashamed of.
And what Brady Dezire just did, went to shake his hand and kicked him, and now coming back to kick him some more, shows anyone that knows this business knows that Brady Dezire was just embarrassed by this young upstart here tonight, this Iceman.
It's all part of paying your dues, but this Iceman really doesn't have anything to be ashamed of. He gave it his best.
Absolutely not. I give a lot of accolades to this young Iceman, and the mere fact that Brady Dezire went back once and twice to put some more pain on this young Iceman shows that this young kid took him to task a lot more than he anticipated. I give a big round of applause to this Iceman. And the fans obviously, look at the arena here. The fans obviously appreciating what they saw this young Iceman do here tonight. But I want to know what's most important. Did Reggie just turn babyface? I need to know. And if you look at Reggie's face, there's nothing baby about it, but for God's sake.
Introducing first, representing the coalition, weighing 241 pounds, Xzibit. Jason
Well, we have Coalition out here, and we have Italy's answer to the vanilla ice cream cone in Major Maniac. This guy can't figure out if he's shaving or bathing or what he's doing. Look at this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This fan here has given Major Maniac problems. And now he put his hands on Major Maniac, and that was a mistake. That was a big mistake.
That guy in the front row, he's already blown up. All he did was stand up one time. Sit down.
and his opponent, weighing 230 pounds, Solo Snuka.
I love hearing that name. A name from the past. An era that I loved. A wrestler that I loved. A wrestler that was phenomenal. Now making his way back into professional wrestling here in the UWF, and his offspring right here.
Solo taking it to the Xzibit. Goes for a quick roll-up. The Xzibit takes a powder to the outside. Trying to slow down the momentum of Solo.
Well, with Solo in the ring against Jason the Xzibit, all of Coalition needs to be out here because they will not be up to the task of this one Solo.
The Xzibit back into the ring. Collar and elbow tie up.
And just in case you fans are wondering, I did a little searching tonight and I found out, for you fans that don't know where Legacy is, the newest member of Coalition, I understand he's attending a formal for Billy and Chucky tonight. Special guest of Rico.
Xzibit thrown to the outside.
Look at Solo, man. He is not intimidated in the slightest.
No, I think he would take all three on at the same time.
And love doing it. Love doing it. What are you kidding me?
The Xzibit downstairs with the boot. Now going to work on the back with the forearm. Looks like he's going to work on the left shoulder.
The shoulder and the arm, he's trying to put it out of action here on Solo. He's trying to handicap Solo. He knows that might be one of the few ways to get over Solo, but obviously it didn't work.
Solo with the slam. Off the ropes. Went for the big elbow, but the Xzibit saw it coming and rolled out the way. The Xzibit again going to work on that left shoulder.
You know, I'm not a big fan of the so-called good guys, as the fans like to cheer for, but I'm going to tell you something. I love Solo. I can't help it. The guy's just absolutely phenomenal. And how you can look at a guy like this and say, well, for political reasons you don't like him or you do like him, you have to love a guy like Solo. He's incredible.
Very versatile, good mat technician, can take to the air. Don't forget he's a former hardcore champion as well.
Yes, and he's wrestling one of my all-time favorites. Also here in the UWF, Jason the Xzibit, but not a favorite of mine anymore because I don't like what he's become. Cocky, arrogant, pompous-ass jerk that hangs out with sleazy women like this.
I was just going to say, keep your coalition, and Maniac beat me to it. And he's going to work on Solo on the outside. Desire's there. Don't put it past him to put in just a few cheap shots. Oh, and that left shoulder was thrown right into the steel ring post.
You know, I want to ask you something. Why are these two sleazy women out here anyway? They don't bring anything to the match. When you're supposed to bring something like eye candy out to the ring, it's to focus on and let them do something in the match to help in the match, to help draw something to the match. When I used to bring the Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young out for my people's matches, those women brought something to the match. These two sleazy women don't bring anything.
They're no Missy Hyatt woman, all for the good old days.
Yeah, Missy Hyatt women, they were ugly too. I'm talking about beautiful women like the Fabulous Moolah. I'm talking about beautiful women like Johnny Mae Young. These are gorgeous women, not these sleaze that you see out here, these children that haven't learned to put their underpants on right.
Xzibit working on that left shoulder. The Solo got him in a hammerlock and just slammed him down on that arm. Boy, that left arm, Dino, might be immobile before too long if he continues to work on it the way he's been doing.
Well, obviously, it's starting to take some effect on Solo. Jason the Xzibit has been working on Solo's arm since the inception of the match, and obviously it's having an effect now because now you see the pain that Solo was in. Referee asking Solo, does he want to give up? Major Maniac interrupting the referee. Referee's attention back to Solo right now. And now Brady, a Dezire from the other side of the ring, getting a little leverage for Jason the Xzibit. You know, this coalition is doing everything to try to beat Solo because they know that Solo can beat them with no problem.
Luckily for Solo, he was able to get a split draped over the bottom rope and break up the hold. You know, that hammerlock into a slam reminded me of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew with Ole and Gene Anderson. How they would work on the arm just constantly throughout the match and wear their opponents down. Solo went for a left-handed clothesline, and that played right into the favor of the Xzibit as he was able to grab it and then DDT his shoulder into the canvas.
See, but did you see that? Did you see what Solo did, fans? He was 2 steps ahead of Jason the Xzibit when Jason the Xzibit went for the pin. Solo was already setting up to pull him off, to throw Jason the Xzibit off. You knew he wasn't going to pin him at that point. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is a consummate professional wrestler. And I used to say, and I'll be the first to admit that I thought if one professional wrestler ever made it to the big show, it would be Legacy. But Legacy, in my opinion, just turned his back on everyone and everything and kind of became sort of a pompous ass running this stupid coalition. I have a feeling you will see Superfly Snuka Jr., otherwise known as Solo, and that's the name he wants to be known as. He wants to be known as Solo because he does it all on his own for the most part. And I'm going to tell you, he will be at the big show in the very, very near future.
He's definitely got wrestling in his blood, like you alluded to. Second generation superstar. But besides being a second generation, he's got what it takes inside. This kid's got a lot of heart. This never say die attitude.
You know, we've been hopping on it for a while now, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I love it. It's great. It was unprecedented. It took everybody in UWF by surprise. But I really don't want to hop on the fact that this is Jimmy Superfly Snuka's son. We've been doing it, and I really want to stop that. It's great to know that. It's great to know that Superfly will have his back if it's ever needed. But the fact of the matter is, Solo, from the day he arrived here, has done it all on his own. I have been up against this Solo with some of my proteges, and I'm telling you something. This is the toughest man to go against in the UWF.
Wow, Gino, he had him in that arm bar. The Xzibit was propped up on the top rope, gaining additional leverage, and he just took Solo over. Solo's arm could be about broken right about now.
And he still won't give up. Damn it, he still won't give up. Look at this.
He might have a little too much heart for his own good.
Jason, the Xzibit very smartly deterring the referee's attention away from what's exactly happening there.
The Xzibit in total control right now. He's got everything just the way he wants. He's got Solo with his back on the canvas, and he's wrenching down on that left shoulder.
And I want all the fans to know while we have a moment here. Coming to TV very shortly, ladies and gentlemen, at the next TV taping here in the UWF, the most wonderful one of all, superstar Mike Lane, and by his side, the man who is the charter member of the family today, Goon, #1 with the infamous one, will be wrestling.
Solo with the desperation type maneuver right there. Drop kicking the Xzibit, who catapulted off the second rope.
I haven't seen the fans so into what is going on here at the UWF Arena more in the last 2 weeks than I've ever seen before. These fans are just phenomenal. They're really enjoying this. They're into these matches. They know they have seen every bit of wrestling, hardcore, regular matches, whatever they came to see, they got it right here tonight.
There's something for everybody. There's nothing like being here live at the UWF Arena. Solo mounting a comeback. Solo off the second rope. Clothesline. What resiliency by Solo.
A lot of resilience there, but I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you that I always thought Jason Rios was pretty cool. I mean, let's face it, you look at the guy, he's the guy that every man wants to look like. He has all the chicks in the world, and he was a nice young man at one time, but he became a cocky, arrogant, little SOB, and he's very hard to stomach these days. But I do like his wrestling.
Solo comes off the top with that leg lariat. Dezire comes in, and he elbowed his own man.
Coalition trying to do anything possible to eliminate, and now accidentally Solo gets the referee as he was going after Brady. Now Major Maniac, here is Rush. Brady Dezire powdering out, the referee's head is spinning, doesn't know where he is, and now Rush with a leg right to the head of Solo, and Solo is down. I hope he won't be out.
Now Rush trying to fire up the Xzibit, telling him to get him, to pin him. Got Solo lined up. Solo just Rush gets back up over
And once again, for the second time in the last couple of minutes, Coalition's timing off badly to the point it caused them more bad than good here.
That jumping DDT by Solo. Xzibit's down on the
Referee
canvas.
trying to come to here. Solo on the top rope. Super fly dive!
Solo shifting his body in midair. Lands with a splash. Solo gets a pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, Solo Snuka!
Well, with everything that Coalition tried to do, everything, spirits, actions, it didn't work. It just did not work. Solo defeating Jason the Xzibit rings.
You know, that's the problem when you have so many people accompanying you at ringside. Sometimes they're not all on the same page, and we saw it backfire right there.
2 times, Brady Dezire, and in fact, Rush. The timing was off. Rush went flying over the top rope and is out. I think he's unconscious in the dressing room.